We're actually live now. So, welcome to Total Health Live, the Friday, Black Friday edition, even though we wear white hats. Well, this is light blue, but it is the white hat version of Total Health Live, news and views that you can use to stay healthy and promote health within your family and your community. I am Dr. Christopher Vogelmann of drvogelmann.com. And with me, as always, is the lovely, talented nutritionist to the stars, Monika Klein.
From Coaching for Health, which you can't see, it's covered by Survive and Thrive Now.
Well, I can do that. Let me just do that. This is the
Coaching for
beauty.
Health.
The beauty of live is that we can actually make changes.
Anything.
We can make changes like there. Now you can see yourself.
Hi, Coaching for Health Live. So we're wearing navy. I think you're wearing navy just as much as I am, right?
No, I'm wearing red.
But your jacket is navy.
I'm a superhero. Well, yeah, this is the presidential seal.
But your jacket is navy, yes?
No, it's brown.
Wow, that's a very odd color. It looks navy to me. Anyway, I'm wearing navy. Oh, wow.
I'm blocking the sunlight.
So anyway, as we're doing our color analysis, we're so happy you joined us post-Thanksgiving. And how was your Thanksgiving? How was your Thanksgiving, Christopher?
Well, it was actually pretty good. There were just the two of us. So we just stayed here and we had an organic roast chicken with all the trimmings because turkeys are way too big. We'll do a turkey when our 13-year-old returns from his father's version of Thanksgiving. So.
Yes, I'm sure he can help you eat that.
Yeah, but the minimum you can find for a bird is like 12 pounds or so, right?
I know.
We're not doing that.
Yeah. So I didn't have turkey at all. And my husband was very disappointed, but he had turkey because we made ground turkey the day before for him. And he had yams and he had pumpkin pie. So he felt fine after I told him all the things he was getting. But I had pumpkin and spinach curry, which is really not a curry. It's not what you think of as a curry. It's got fenugreek in it and ghee, and it's very simple to make, and it was delicious.
Is that what the Pilgrims had? Was curry?
Curry. Yes, they did. They had. Depends which pilgrims we're talking about.
The progressive Pilgrim's Progress. The progressive Pilgrims.
I'm a pilgrim myself, and that's exactly what I had.
Are you a pilgrim?
I'm a pilgrim. Well, I'm a pioneer.
You're a pioneer? You're not the pioneer woman, are you?
Well, in some past life, I suppose. So really happy that you're joining us. I think this is, which one is this? Is this 50 already?
No, it's number 40 because I made a mistake last week. I put down 49 when it was really 39.
Okay, 40 is great. 40 is great. We've been doing
40 is the new 30.
We've been doing, well, in this case, it's the new 50. Yes, 50. So we've been doing the show since March, and here we are still at it, still answering your questions. And I have been so inspired, and normally, because I'm doing this wonderful detox, I always
do this.
I always do this. Anyway, I have a Black Friday special. And this year I'm going to have a Black Friday special again. And it's only lasting for 3 days. It starts tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, and ends Monday midnight.
Why doesn't it start on Friday?
Why? Because I don't know, Christopher. We had a little bit of a lag in getting everything ready for you.
I'm a laggard.
So we had a little bit of a lag. So we're just making it extra special. And it's starting Saturday. It's a Saturday, Black Saturday.
Black Saturday through Monday.
Let's call it Navy Saturday.
Let's call it Brown Saturday.
And everything in between. It's a colorful Saturday, and it's going to be a colorful 3 days of, because do you want to fit into your skinny jeans by the end of the year?
I do.
And I am. And I think most people want to feel that good. Can you imagine wrapping up this year like this? really difficult year, unheard of kind of year, a memorable year that will go down in history, and fitting into your skinny jeans. Wouldn't that be a sort of icing on the mincemeat pie?
On the cake?
Mincemeat pie.
Is there cake involved in this program?
No, there's mincemeat pie, which is really not my favorite pie, but maybe some of you others out there watching us love mincemeat pie. But wouldn't that be amazing?
It would be.
So good, rather than just waiting for January. And you can wait till January to start this program. In fact, you have until February 14th to start this program. It's a 4-week program. And you get to talk to me. I get to guide you. I get to be with you through this whole process for 4 weeks. And so I know, Christmas, all that. Well, this year is a very different kind of Christmas, very different kind of holiday season. So yeah, I mean, I had pumpkin and spinach curry for turkey. Why not do something different for yourself? Why not gift yourself the gift of health? Because if nothing else is on your mind this year, it should be health. I know finances are really up there, but health can help you with your finances. Actually, you have to be healthy to be able to function properly, to be able to, overcome or be well enough to overcome anything that comes your way, any virus, any infection, anything. And so that is really the gift. Can you imagine, Christopher, can you imagine having that as your holiday gift to yourself?
The gift of health, the gift that keeps on giving.
The gift of health. It's normally this program goes for $997, and we are doing it only for $697. It's a special that I do every year, and I want you to take part in it, be part of this. You're part of the Total Health Live community, and this is also part of the Total Health Live community. Our Skinny Jeans weight loss program, it's been successful for so many years and has helped so many people. And I just love seeing people get healthier, get lighter, feel better, more energetic, have better sleep. Their digestion works better. It's really quite incredible. And so what better time? What better time?
And it's a game of inches, not a game of pounds.
It's a game of inches, game of pounds, and it's
not the Game of Thrones, though.
Well, I don't know. I mean, sometimes when your digestion is working well, you may be on the throne.
You won't spend so much. You will spend less time on the throne.
Yeah, you'll be much more efficient with everything. Your body will start working better. You'll start working better. You'll start functioning better. Mind, body, and your spirit. You'll feel lighter. You'll feel more positive. That's another outcome of losing some of these toxins that you're carrying with you in your body. And this is your immune system will benefit. And this is the time. We're fighting this disease, this virus. And so it's time to really take your health seriously.
So does that expire? So that special expires, though, I think, was it midnight Pacific on the 30th?
Midnight Pacific, yes.
All
so watch your email box, and,
Yeah.
and we will announce it. I'm announcing it today, but it starts tomorrow.
The sale part, because yours truly didn't put everything up in time.
Yeah. So
I'm the laggard.
Having it a little more compressed than we did, but you're probably inundated with Macy's, Black Friday, and Best Buy and everything else today, and trying to get that all sorted out. But save your money, and invest in yourself. I mean, what better investment can there be? I don't know. I mean, I just invested in my 5-week detox program, and I'm still not finished, but amazing. It's amazing how much better I feel right now. And I have to do it too. I'm not unlike you. I have to make concerted effort to take care of myself and focus on my health, regardless of if I can do it, you can do it. I mean, I have so many demands, which I'm on my time, which I'm sure many of you also have. And if I can do it, you can do it. And I can help you do it. I can help you do it. I've been there, and I've been there many times helping other people and helping myself. So I just want to invite you to really invest in yourself and take your health seriously and have fun doing it. It's not going to be drudgery. So
No,
program.
no drudgery.
No drudgery. Skinny Jeans weight loss program on special, $697 for 4 weeks, plus everything you need, all the materials you need for the program.
What else do they get? What comes in that? Do you send anything?
You get your handouts, you get your manual, you get these little packets that help with your hunger in between meals, and they are protein based, protein, fat, and carbohydrate based, and you can put them in your tea, and they taste like a chai latte. They're just very creamy. It's like having a drink in between your meals.
This is a supplement that you physically send. You send them a physical package.
Yeah, you'll get it physically. We'll mail it to you. You'll get it in a nice big box, and you'll have enough for those 4 weeks. And they're just these little packets of powder, and they're pretty much. We have non-dairy. We have mostly we have a stevia packet. We have different kinds. We have chocolate. We have vanilla. We have strawberry. We have banana. We also have caramel macchiato flavors. And so people like to put that in some hot water, and it's delicious.
So will they get that variety in the package?
Whatever you want. Often people will just like gravitate to one flavor or the other flavor, or whatever you want. You have an option. You're not going to get.
Okay, so there is an option. I just want to make that clear because I thought I would not be the caramel macchiato person at this point. So personally.
Yeah. It's and you can dilute it more. You can put it in a drinking bottle, like a gym bottle, or you can make a tea out of it, or you can ice it if you want. I'm not a big fan of icing, having iced cold drinks, because that's really hard on your digestion. You want to have room temperature or warm. That's what I recommend.
I like icing when it comes to the NHL and the opposing team. So you have to go in there. Yeah. They're called for icing, but that's another story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you play hockey when you were young?
I did not play hockey, but my nephew was a star goalie up in Syracuse, and so
I was a right winger.
You were a right winger.
I was a right winger, and
that did not carry over to your political stance, though. We're not talking about that.
We had a girls' team 1 year, and it was from our school and junior high school, and
Were you ever called for icing?
I don't think so. We didn't do that kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
We didn't do we weren't rough with each other.
You weren't rough. You weren't rough. There were no. There was no fight happening on the ice, and a hockey game broke out.
No, we were girl hockey players.
You were the gentler sex.
We were, we relied on our skill.
I see. Not on bullying the opponent.
And our talent. Yes.
Hey, so speaking of talents, I think we should put your talents, our collective talents, to work answering a couple of questions. Are you up for that?
I just have one thing to talk about COVID. And,
there it is. I saw it there.
This is the reason why you want to do a health and weight loss program. This is not, COVID is one of the reasons. There should be many reasons. This interesting video, her name is Joy Fritz, and she worked for she worked in death certificates in LA County, which is one of the biggest counties in the country. And what she found is that they are now, they're not coding them like they used to code death certificates. So they're actually being told to put it there's immediate and underlying causes. That's what they always have to put in. So immediate can be COVID, can be an accident, can be a stroke, can be anything. But they're also being asked to put as underlying cause COVID, which is not really the case. The underlying cause is usually something that was diagnosed or what they've been treated for 2 or 3 or more years. And so this is causing some discrepancy in the accuracy of reporting, the death reporting in in the numbers right now. So I mean, she was very, very interesting. She has a site called, or a Facebook page called Untrivial Pursuit. Her name is Joy Fritz, and very interesting, very knowledgeable about how this is all. Very respectful too. It wasn't any conspiratorial thing at all. She's a very in-depth researcher, and so she believes that, of course, after this is all over with, there will be extensive research. I mean, there is research being done right now, and analytics and all that. But it was interesting to hear what she was saying about the coding.
Yeah, coding is an interesting phenomenon. The reality is that people can change their reporting based on the criteria that they set at any given time. And if they do change those criteria, then it changes the statistics. I had heard something today, which from an epidemiologist, which is a little crazy, which is that the actual incidence of COVID-19 infections and deaths, by the way, because a lot of times there's not as much testing available for testing cadavers. I mean, people who have passed, and the actual incidence of COVID-19 in the US is probably as high as 8 times what is currently reported. That's a lot.
Cases or the deaths?
The incidence, 8 times.
Oh, so we're talking about cases.
Yeah, cases, but also, deaths would follow suit probably in the 5 times or 4 times.
Perhaps, but it's not. It's a lot of these people have underlying conditions, and that's the point of this. That's not being reported accurately. So a person may die of COVID, but that's not the cause of. I mean, that's not.
Yes, this is where I get into causality because of the inflammatory nature of the virus. If you have inflammation happening in blood vessels in the body that would not have been there to such an extent, the question is, if it pushes you over the limit, is the cause the viral infection because it actually increased inflammation throughout the entire body? Well, it's very interesting.
We're susceptible already. So the cause would be, the immediate cause would be that, but if there's a decline in health for a longer period, they will be vulnerable to almost anything.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you're overweight for any extended period of time,
overweight, diabetes, all sorts of things like that. I was talking to my friend last night who lives in Minneapolis, and she said, the testing is really not that accessible there. It's mostly in hospitals, whereas here, Dodger Stadium, I had a friend at Dodger Stadium for an hour. She has to get tested every time she visits her mother in her this facility she's in. So like line up, for.
But is that rapid testing? Because sometimes it takes 7 to 10 days for getting test results back.
Yeah, I think this was rapid. This was, 24 hours, but there's a lot of places that you can go to here, but again, larger centers and, but she said they only had 10 deaths in Minnesota, and yet they're in lockdown. So so it's interesting, but let's go on to some more positive things. We just like to give you a little bit of updates on, the news that comes our way that you might not hear about. So always interesting to look at other stories, less mainstream stories. That's for sure. So what do we got?
Oh, can we do Q&A now?
Yes.
My permission?
Q&A.
Betty from Rhinebeck, New York, as opposed to Wisconsin, I was told. There's a lot of Germans. There's a lot of Germans in Wisconsin too. But Betty,
well, I have a German friend in Rhinebeck too.
Betty. This is not Betty Rubble.
No. What's in
that would be from
the Monika Institute is also in Rhinebeck.
Yes, I've been there a couple times as a matter of fact. So Betty from Rhinebeck says, I put on quite a bit of weight this past year, started gaining even before COVID started. Yeah. I really need to do something. I'm heavier than my husband now, and that is so crushing for me. What's my best first step?
Yeah, that's a big motivator. That's for sure. Well, the first step is to decide you want to do something, and, just put blinders on and just take it one day at a time. Say yes and just do some sort of program that will give you some sort of structure in your life. You need structure, because you can keep saying, I got to, I will, I'm going to try this for a few days. No, maybe I'll try that for a few days. Oh, this isn't working. I'm going to try that. So you're constantly giving up, really. And so what you need to do is commit to something, decide, commit, and get on a program where you're guided by somebody who has been there and someone who has expertise that can help you accomplish your goal. Because it's hard to do it on your own. It really is. And I would advise that you do that, and not keep fooling yourself that you're going to try, and you keep beating yourself up that you're not doing it, and and you're heavier than your husband. I mean, that's really depressing. I know that could be a good motivator, as I said.
Yeah, I think the main thing is when you do have somebody assisting you that can help guide you through the emotional part, which is really important, because our emotions do dictate to a great extent what our choices are in food. So let me see. We've got Julie from West LA. I'm assuming LA is Los Angeles.
Where else would it be? Not Louisiana.
Louisiana and Alaska. She commutes back and forth.
Well, no, West LA. I used to live in West LA.
Okay. Been trying to lose weight, find myself feeling it's so hard, eating barely anything. I'm always hungry. Help. Well, you're not eating enough, Julie.
You're always hungry. You have to eat food to lose weight. This is such a misconception. People think they need to starve themselves.
No.
To lose weight. You can't. You can't do that.
Your body goes into conservation mode, and it thinks that the outside world is in famine, and you're going to retain whatever you can if you're just going to be to the point where you're completely restricting your intake.
It's you have to eat the right things, and so then you won't feel like you're deprived, but you also won't feel hungry. So you need to eat like things that are nourishing you and nourishing your cells. And so just not eating anything, fruits and vegetables and grains and nuts and seeds, those are your basics that you have to have. And also get on a schedule. I was sort of saying it to Betty, a structure really helps, having some sort of structure and schedule. This is when I'm going to eat, and just follow that schedule. And I can never, ever say enough about food journaling. It is so, so good to have. Keeps you on track, keeps you kind of focused. It keeps you focused. And so writing down your food is really, really helpful, and eating more maybe, and eating the right things.
Yeah, because if you just are starving yourself, if you're just totally restricting food, you're going to run the risk of losing not just body fat, but you're going to lose lean muscle mass and organ tissue. Yeah. And that's one of the things you got to really watch out for, is that you don't waste away, actually.
Yeah, wasting is what happens to people a lot of people who are sick. They have, wasting disease, cancer, for an example. And it's hard to build back that muscle mass and organ tissue. It's not as easy as you think. So I know fasting is a big thing right now, but you have to do fasting properly too. You have to do it properly. And
I like slowing. It takes longer, but it's
what? Sorry, what was that?
Slowing. It's not as rapid as fasting, but it works better.
Slowing is good, because that's another thing. You want to eat slowly. You want to eat slowly, so you don't have some of these digestive issues, GERD, or indigestion, or whatever you have. You want to eat slowing. Slowing is good.
Slow down. You move too fast.
Slowing program.
Got to make your meals all last.
I used to call it the slow down program, or the take things off your plate program. Because people are rushing. Well, people are not rushing around as much as they used to. People are sort of at home.
But there are people who are rapidly eating because of stress.
Yes, they are.
Snack foods, like piling stuff in.
Yeah. So you want to slow down, and when you slow down, you'll start tasting that snack food, and it's going to wow, this doesn't really taste that good. Because often when you're eating so fast, you're eating these snack foods that are intended for you to eat. Well, I don't know if they're intended, but that's how you eat it. Most people eat. For one reason, either I want to, it tastes so good because it's got a lot of these chemicals that cause the dopamine rushes and all this other neurochemical activity. So you're eating it fast and it tastes really good, salt, sugar, fat, or whatever else is in there. And I shouldn't be eating it. All the reasons why. Stay away from the snack stuff. Stay away from it.
Hey, speaking of stay away from things, Albert from Long Beach asks, I've been trying to live more cleanly, better food and exercise, but I'm still having a hard time losing weight. I'm in a high stress profession. He's a lawyer. Ooh. And find myself being inconsistent with my meals. Any ideas? I was pre-law, so that was a whole other story. So I can empathize with you, Albert.
Well, I've worked with, let's go ahead.
Yeah. You've worked with a lot of lawyers. So
yeah, I've worked with a lot of attorneys. They come to me all the time. And, most people who come to me, they want a solid program, effective, solid program. They want something intelligent. They want something that is doable and realistic for their lifestyle and their, the pressures of their profession. So, So again, I think I'm kind of repeating myself a little bit today about getting onto a schedule and making it a priority, no matter how you can do it. Maybe, maybe you could engage your significant other, if you do have a wife or significant other, to help you with this at home, to prepare some of these meals and bring them with you. And I'm not sure if you're working at home, and if so, it's actually a little bit easier. I mean, for example, I'm going to be, after this call, like at 2:00, I'll start making my lunch and dinner, and I will have my lunch probably a little bit later. I normally have my lunch between 1 and 2. And so I will be hungry at that point, but it's within sort of a period that I like to eat my meals, because my breakfast is a little bit later. I usually eat 10:30 to 11, because I'm having tea in the morning, and that's, sort of a slow process in the morning where I just have tea. That's what I have. So yeah, scheduling and bringing and making it easier, bringing things with you.
I actually think also you can set an alarm on your phone these days too, as a reminder, so you can have some consistency. Because right now, I think you, Albert, are having issues of being inconsistent. So
you have this. Is that what you do? Because I know sometimes you miss meals too.
Yeah, I have an alarm that says eat.
That's good. That's very good. Very good. You want to have simple. Simple is good.
So I get into a creative state, almost in flow, and if I am going at it, sometimes I can go 3, 4, 5 hours without a break. And not that it's really good for you, but I have high peak levels of creativity. And so as a result, I'm getting a warning about my next broadcast at 2:00. And so if I don't set that alarm to remind myself to take a break, I will work straight through. Now, mind you, sometimes it's actually turned out to be best that I didn't take a break, but for the most part, I need to remind myself to eat.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I mean, we all have our ways of working. I mean, I too have these creative surges, and so often when that happens, you're not even thinking about food at all.
No,
and so
it's the last thing on my mind.
Yeah, because you're in this zone of creativity and productivity, and so but you want to be able to have food and nutrients to help your brain work at that level and be consistent. You want to, that's what you need. You need the food to nourish you and give you the energy and the fuel. And
I would say it almost sounds like Albert might be also skipping meals too, because of the inconsistency with the meals. So I think it almost like everybody's having the same problem pretty much, but in different versions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Today.
Yeah. So structure is the key.
Yeah, consistency. So Dottie is looking for some consistency. Dottie from Charlotte, I'm assuming it's North Carolina. She says, I've been doing a weight loss program with a few friends and they're getting good results, but I'm lagging behind and it's depressing. What am I doing wrong? Oh, good God, that's a loaded question because we have no idea what you're doing currently other than comparing yourself to other people.
Yeah, and that's poison. You
Yeah.
don't want to compare yourself. You just can't, because you're not them. And everyone has a very different physiology, a very different psychology, a very different lifestyle. Even though you might have similar lifestyles, you know, you're not the same
Well,
person.
you may have kids and they don't. So there's a lot of different things going on here. I don't know, Dottie, if you're working a full-time job right now or at home doing your work. So I think there's a lot of different factors here that we don't really know. But consulting with Monika, for example, would probably be good because at least you could get a few questions answered, or she could actually get an assessment of where you are right now, so that you can get out of this comparison game and come up with a logical plan of action.
Yeah, and also, you know, working with someone like me, we could talk about the emotional piece too, because
Mhm.
I'm sure you said you're depressed,
Yeah.
so we could handle that and work with that, and guide you through that, and make you feel good about the steps that you are taking.
Well, and it's definitely worth exploring because I think that, Dottie, when you're talking about this, it's just loaded with all kinds of I don't knows, tell us more. So
Yeah, and also, you may be doing the same program or the same diet, whatever, as your friends, but you don't really know what they're doing. You know, you don't really know. I mean, people sort of fool themselves a lot of times, and then they fool others, and they think they're doing something. So maybe they're doing something, more rigid than you think they are, or you're not really doing the same thing.
yeah,
So,
there's
yeah.
there's just we need more data,
Yeah, we do.
basically.
Yeah, please call, send
Reach,
us more questions or some more information. Love to follow up with you on that.
yeah, you can always send a private message at the Coaching for Health Facebook
Yeah.
page. So that's a
Mhm.
doable deal. Or reach Monika at coachingforhealth.com, where there's a contact information there too. So, um, people from other areas. Here's Paula from Naples, Florida. My gosh, I almost set up an office in Naples many years ago. Pretty interesting. I know there's a big Whole Foods there too. Everyone, I was actually looking at office locations all up and down the eastern seaboard, and Naples was one of those good places because it had all kinds of wonderful things like the Trader Joe's and the Whole Foods and everything all in that same area. So Paula's very lucky living in Naples, I think.
You are.
Yeah. Everyone's yeah.
Thing.
Yeah, everyone says I should meditate, but I can't do it. It's so boring. I'm antsy and I can't sit still. No matter how many times I've tried, I just can't. Should I give up? Meditation is different for different people. You can actually, having a guided meditation or something might work for you. I also found that even walking while listening to something is useful. You don't have to sit there like a rock to have something that focuses your attention on something else. What do you think, Monika, about
Well,
meditation?
as a meditator for like 30 plus years, I've been trained in transcendental meditation. I have my mantra, and it's just something that it's part of my name. That's what I do. I do it every day. But and it's for me, people have this conception that meditation is hard and you have to sit there rigidly, just like you said. And it's just like, need to focus and get rid of thoughts and don't have thoughts. And there's all these misconceptions about what meditation is. And it really is a place, it's a timeout for you not to be interrupted, for you not to be connected
I was going to
to
say,
any
I know,
devices.
but it's not a timeout where they're going to sit in the corner until you behave better.
Well, it could be. That's what you have to do. You have to behave. Yeah, you find a sacred space. You find this sacred space in your home somewhere, and that becomes where you go to for a timeout, so you can rest your brain for a little bit. And yes, thoughts will come, thoughts will go, thoughts will come and go, and it's just let them go. But you're like this, using a timer again is really great, because it's only this small time, and maybe you can only do it for 5 minutes. So try for 5 minutes, and then you work up to the 20 minutes. But I find it allows me, I have these incredibly creative ideas or ways to solve problems. That's what comes in these meditations. So I would, try it again, try some of the methods that Christopher just mentioned, but it is great. And if you can't do it, you can't do it. Find something else where you can relax a little bit, and just, empty your head a little bit. But I encourage everyone to, try it. Really is, it's really great.
Try it, you'll like it. But I mean, I think the should, and when people say, everybody says I should meditate, my philosophy is if you don't should on me, I won't should on you. So I think you may find something. Some people find prayer. My dad's favorite phrase was "pray with your feet moving," and that is a form of meditation. So, Irving from Calabasas, what a fun name! I think of it as a melon.
It is.
It is. Okay, so really
That's
finding
my neighborhood.
There you go. Your Calabasas lemon.
All the yeah.
I'm finding that I lose energy as the day progresses. I wake up groggy and I never feel energized after sleeping. I often get to bed too late because of my work projects, and so sleep is an issue. It's causing problems with my focus. Besides getting more sleep, even though it's hard to do, what else do you recommend? Well, there's no substitute for vitamin S, as Monika would say. You got to get sleep.
Gotta get sleep. Listen, you're not going to be as productive if you push yourself on one end of the night, and then in the morning you expect to be productive again. So you just got to limit yourself, and just say, okay, 11 o'clock, that's it, I'm done. Or actually earlier if you could. I'm not sure.
Set an alarm.
I mean, I tell you,
not to wake up, but to go to bed. Your go to bed alarm.
Yeah. For all of these things today, it's about, schedule. And it doesn't need to be rigid, but it helps you. It really does help you to have some structure, consistency, and a schedule.
Well, it's one of establishing habit. It's also establishing ritual. And I think many of us find that we need to establish certain rituals that get us into a habit. And it's almost like it's that sacred time for you to take care of yourself. And even just a simple thing like your morning ritual of making a cup of tea or a cup of coffee and sitting there and contemplating the day, that in and of itself can be very helpful in creating some focus for your productivity for the day.
Yeah, and that's meditative too.
It is meditative. Back to Paula. So
back to Paula's question. That's meditative, just contemplating. Journaling is also meditative, can be. But yeah, it's really, that's so important. You need to get your sleep, and you will have more energy. Believe it or not, you'll have more energy and more ability to focus.
And take a nap periodically. I find if I get a 10 to 20 minute nap, it's like, boom, I'm back to being more productive. So
so whatever works for you as an individual.
Okay. So speaking of things that are working, Carrie from Philadelphia is asking, she says, my husband loves eating late. Everybody's doing stuff late. My husband loves eating late and heavier meals like meat and potatoes and pastas, etc. I've put on weight over the years and I'd like to get it off. What can I do to help myself and still share meals with my husband? Well, I think your husband needs to make some modifications of his eating habits, or he's not going to be around with you very long.
Or you could be a husband that burns calories pretty quickly. He may be fit. We don't know. He may be able to tolerate that.
But nevertheless, eating late is going to be a challenge in and of itself, I think. Yeah.
She didn't say what time was late because, so I've had a lot of my clients ask this question a lot. And what I suggest is that you maybe eat something earlier and maybe have another smaller snack or something with your husband if you want to have that sort of conviviality.
Conviviality.
Yes, That's the word I was looking for. Conviviality and sharing your day or whatever at the end of the day. So that's what I would do, and maybe or just have a drink with him or some tea or something with him while he's sharing the day with you at the dinner table. So there are ways to kind of tweak it so you feel like you're getting what you need, and and you still have this connection with each other. So yeah, a lot of times when I have a person, usually a woman, doing a program, they'll do it, or they'll eat most of their meal earlier, and then, do some of these other things, so they can connect at the end
Yeah, I
of the
think
day.
there's a lot of unknowns in this too. I mean, if he's away for most of the day and then he's coming home late, then, but you don't have to eat the same foods that he's eating. I think that's one of those things.
It might
And
take a
it
little
wouldn't hurt to introduce a few vegetables to accompany the meat and potatoes.
This is another thing that happens when again, usually I work with women. Usually the women start changing the household with the foods, and everyone sort of follows suit. And so it's up to you to create that environment at home, and you start with you. You start with you.
Yeah. And as Monica mentioned earlier, I think it's a very good idea, which is to, you can even just sit there and enjoy a drink. It could be a cup of tea, it could be a little glass of wine or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
The reality is that you don't have to consume the same amount of food as your husband.
Or the same type.
Or the same types. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have a salad, something light, while he's eating the heavier type of meal that we talked about earlier.
Exactly.
I think that's it for questions.
Yeah, that's it. That's a wrap. Well, I just want to reinforce that tomorrow again is our black or blue or orange.
Black and blue. It's not going to hurt you. It's not black and blue.
It's our multicolored special, post-Thanksgiving special, holiday special, the Skinny Jeans weight loss program, 4 weeks. You get coaching from me, supervision from me, as I don't mean supervision like I'll be watching.
She'll be following. She'll be watching you.
I will be available for you, and it's just a great healthy eating program that you can lose 10 to 15 pounds in that period of time. It's quite amazing. All that water weight comes off initially, and you start feeling pretty good. And you have, again, if you purchase it now, you have until February 14th, Valentine's Day, to start your program. So I hope you take that opportunity to invest in yourself now, and you won't regret it.
And get on the email list too, so you should get notified from these things, because
please do.
Yeah, it's very, very important. Okay, so that is a wrap for today. This has been Total Health Live with Christopher Vogelmann, Dr. Christopher Vogelmann, and the nutritionist to the stars, Monika Klein. We'll be back here next week, the same bat time, same bat channel. If you have any comments or questions, please put them in below, or send us a private message on the Coaching for Health page or in Total Health Live. And join the Total Health Live group so we can get to know you even better. All right, we're out of here.
Bye.
Bye.
See you next week. Have a good weekend. Good week.
Yes. Work off that pie.